friends, so today I am going to share with you 22 things that you should be getting rid of before 2022. So let's jump into the video and get started with all the things that you should be going through and getting rid of before the new year starts. So the first item you want to clean out is your freezer. So when you start cleaning out your freezer, you are looking for any kind of expired food or mystery food items that you can't identify or that possibly you didn't label. Most food can last from 3 to 6 months before getting freezer burned if it's something that you had as a leftover or like meat that you're keeping in the freezer. Otherwise, if you have any prepackaged food, you're going to want to follow the expiration dates on those foods to make sure that you're getting the best quality of food. Number 2 is condiments. So according to the USDA, there are 4 common food label dates to look for. So you're going to be looking for the sell by date, the use by date, best if used by date, or the closed by date. I couldn't find any of the closed by date, but I did find the other 3 on my food labels. So the sell by date is how long the store can display the product. The use by date is the last date the product is at peak quality. And the best if used by date is the best date for flavor and quality. So although sometimes these items can be used after the expiration date, they're not going to be the best quality that you could be using as if you're using it by the sell by date. So you're going to want to get rid of any of those expired condiments or sauces or anything you have in your fridge. So number 3 is spices, and you can have kind of a wide variety. I'm looking at my dried spices today. I didn't have any fresh spices, but you would want to make sure if you had any herbs or spices in your refrigerator that you also get rid of those as well. Dried spices will naturally last about 1 to 3 years, and if you weren't able to find a expiration date on your spices, I was able to find them on all but 1 bottle. But if you weren't able to find them, you are able to rub a small amount on your palm and then sniff. If the smell and taste are weak, you will know that they are expired. Also, if you have any that have like solidified in there, or maybe you got moisture in them and they are hard as a rock, even if the expiration date is still good, you're going to want to get rid of those because they won't be giving you any freshness or quality. Number 4 is the pantry, and I live in a pretty normal sized home. We have a small kitchen and we don't have an actual pantry. So when we redid our dining room, we added these shelves that would give us some storage options for snacks and things like that. However, the cabinets are really deep, but they don't have a lot of shelving, and so it's really hard to keep the snacks and things organized. So my rule of thumb when I'm going through things or getting rid of it is to pull everything out, check the dates, see if it's things that even anyone is eating or wanting to eat anymore, and then I discard it that way. So I will be having a kitchen organization video coming up in the next weeks where I'm going to get some different shelving in here and organize this pantry a little bit differently. But after you get rid of all your snacks, you have such a nice, clean, organized space. Number 5 is pens and pencils, and if you had kids at home and you were doing virtual school, you probably have a lot of pencils and pens hanging around left over from that time. So you're going to want to gather all of those together, markers, pens, pencils, and you're going to want to write with each one and discard the ones that are no longer any good. For markers, you kind of want to make sure you do it quite a bit so that you can tell if the marker is actually running out. Number 6 is candles, and if you're anything like me, I hold on to candles for like my really favorite ones for like a special occasion. I'm so bad about doing that with all the things I own. I'm trying to be better at that though, and using them because every day should be a special occasion. But the rule of thumb for candles is if there's only about a half an inch of wax left, you're going to want to go ahead and throw that out anyway. And then if you have any candles you started burning but never finished, you probably don't like it and you're not going to use it again, so you're going to want to get rid of those. And then those are the same with your wax melts. I don't really use my wax warmer anymore, and so I got rid of pretty much all of my wax melts. So number 7 is books, and I am an avid reader. I absolutely love books and all things reading. I do purge my books quite regularly just because I tend to accumulate so many. I also have e-readers and audiobooks that I use subscription services for, and I'll link that down in the description box. I use Scribed. I absolutely love it, and if you're an audiobook lover, you want to check that out. But I'm going to go ahead and go through these, and my idea is if I look at it and I think, I'm probably never going to read that, or I'd rather listen to it, I go ahead and get rid of them. And there's several places that you could probably donate to. I like to donate to my local used bookstore because I get credit there, but there's also the library or thrift stores that take books on the regular. So number 8 is wire hangers, and you've probably accumulated wire hangers if you're taking your clothes to the dry cleaner, or maybe you picked up something at a garage sale and it had a hanger and you kept the hanger. But most wire hangers are too thin for most clothes. So over time they bend at weird angles and they cause clothes to hang funny or just fall off. So it's best to replace those with plastic hangers, which you can pick up at the Dollar Tree or Walmart, or there is more expensive wood hanger options that I like to use in my coat closet. Number 9 is shoes, and I have a very small closet, so I don't have a lot of space. I share it with my husband, so I only get one side, so I don't keep a lot of shoes on hand. I also keep my slippers in the same area, so I regularly go through the shoes and kind of purge which ones I don't actually wear, or that I don't wear enough to feel like I should keep it around. But if you're somebody that has a lot of shoes, according to the premierpodiatry.com, on average, you should keep your shoes for 8 to 12 months before replacing them. Running shoes depend on miles and should be replaced every 300 to 500 miles. How do you know if you should replace them? You're going to check the support and conditioning, and if they don't bounce back the way they used to, it's time for new shoes. Number 10 is clothes, and there's some different rules of thumb, and there's a lot of different people's opinions on what to do in your closet and how to get rid of them. I follow the Marie Kondo method. I've been doing it for several years, and I'll talk more about that in some later videos. But for this particular segment, clothing, you want to ask yourself some certain questions. Is it something that you would buy now if you saw it in the store? Is it something that you look at and you think, oh yeah, I want to wear that? And if the answers are no to those questions, then it's possibly time to get rid of it. If you've got clothes hanging in your closet that no longer fit you anymore and that you're waiting to, possibly get back into, it might be time for that hard, look to yourself and say, I think it's time to get rid of that. So I like to donate mine to thrift stores or just to give them away to certain friends. That way I'm kind of passing it along and somebody else gets to use these items. So number 11 is socks, and we all have those dreaded socks that don't have any matches. At my house, we like to have a sock party, so I keep these baskets. I put all of the socks in the baskets, and there are 4 of us, so all of our socks go in the baskets, and then we have a sock party, and we match all of the socks. So now is a good time to get rid of any socks that are possibly have holes in them, or if you get to the bottom of your sock pile and you have matches that are missing, anything like that, now is the time to get rid of them, because chances are you're going to get new socks for Christmas. That seems to be like one of the big items that people get a lot of at Christmas time. So if you have socks that don't fit, have holes, are worn out, now is the time to get rid of them. So number 12 is makeup, and I get a lot of makeup. I get an Ipsy bag every month, and so I'm getting like tons of makeup, and I can't use the makeup as fast as I get it. But I didn't even know that makeup had expiration dates. If you look on the back, some of the more expensive makeup I have did have expiration dates on them. Some of them I could not find, but it's almost always about 12 months for any kind of like pressed powder item, and like 3 to 6 months for any eyeliner products or lip products. So go in, look at your makeup and start to get rid of anything that might be expired or that you don't use anymore. So number 13 is cleaning supplies, and I didn't know this, but cleaning supplies actually expire. It said to check the date on the product when I was researching this, but when I was looking in my products that I had under my sink in my bathroom, none of them that I could find had an expiration date on them. So I did go ahead and kind of check my Clorox wipes. If they were dry, I got rid of them, and any other products that I had that were pretty much almost empty or were empty that were just stuck down in there, I went ahead and threw those away. And then of course, if there's any products that you don't actually like, or maybe you use them a couple times and you're done with it, then you should definitely get rid of those as well. Number 14 is any old movies that you might have. We have quite a bit of movies here that we now have digital copies of, and so like I said before, I have kind of a small space, and so it's important to utilize all the space that we can. So we're going to go ahead and go through any of our movies that we possibly have a digital copy of, and we're going to get rid of those, as well as any other of the old kid movies that my kids don't want to watch anymore, or just old movies in general that we're not really interested in seeing. There are so many movie options available on Netflix, Hulu, if you have streaming services, and so there isn't necessarily a reason to keep all the movies anymore. Number 15 is papers and mail. I tend to get rid of all of my papers every month, and I go through my mail. I have a bin, this box here at the front of my door, and all of our mail gets put in there, and then once a month I go through it and I get rid of any of the bills that I've already paid or any kind of junk mail that's in there, and then I file away important papers like maybe my home insurance or any kind of policies that I get that I have to keep on to. But I do that every month just so that the paper does not consume me. If you're somebody that still files away papers and things like that, then you want to go ahead and do a good purge at the end of the year. So number 16 is placemats. This could also be tablecloths as well, but I have quite a few placemats for holidays because I love to decorate my dining room. So I'm just going to pull them all out and get rid of the ones that I don't necessarily like or that I don't necessarily use anymore. I have a table setting of 6, even though there are only 4 of us, and so I have some sets that are that have 4, and I have some sets that have 6. So I'm just going to go through all the placemats and pick out the ones that I don't want or use anymore. So number 17 is medicines, and I will tell you guys, my medicine cabinet obviously hadn't been cleaned out for quite some time. But I went ahead and went through the entire thing. According to the FDA, medicine can be risky if used after the expiration date due to changes in chemical composition or decrease in strength. Some medications can fail to treat infections and actually cause more serious illness. So I had quite a few expired items in here. I also had some items that weren't in the packaging anymore, but the expiration dates are on the individual packaging as well. So if you're somebody who takes out your medication from the boxes, no worries, the expiration dates are still there. The same goes for vitamins, any kind of topical ointments, things like that. And as you can see, my cabinet was quite empty at the end. Number 18 is mugs, and chances are you are gifting more mugs for Christmas, so best to get rid of stained, dingy mugs as well as mugs that you no longer use. When I went through my mug cabinet, I realized that we have quite an abundance of Christmas mugs and really nothing else. Sometimes we collect mugs when we go on trips or we visit somewhere kind of fun, but overall the majority of our mugs are Christmas mugs. I even had 4 of these snowman mugs that were for my kids, and I only have 2 kids. So definitely go through your mugs. You're probably going to be getting at least 1 more mug for Christmas. Number 19 is craft supplies, and I have obviously quite a bit of craft supplies in my stash just because I do a lot of crafts on this channel, but definitely I need to go through a lot of my supply. I have these ribbons that were gifted to me, and they just been sitting in a box, and so I need to go through the ribbon. I also take my ribbons off the roll and wind them around paper, and I keep them in a separate storage, and so I need to take care of that. I'm also going to go through my stickers and get rid of any excess stickers. I do a lot of scrapbooking, or did in the past, and so I think it's time to go through and get rid of any kind of stickers and things that I don't use anymore. This is definitely an area that gets kind of piled up with all the excess stuff that you think you're going to use later and never do. Number 20 is dish towels. This could also go for regular towels as well. You're going to want to get rid of any towels that are dingy, stained, or have holes in them. Sometimes you can use these for cleaning rags if they are no longer good enough use for hand towels or body towels, but you don't want to just put them all there so you have then an excess of cleaning towels as well. But definitely it's a good option. It's definitely an eco-friendly option instead of paper towels. But you're going to go through all of your towels, you're going to check them out, see what they look like, and you're going to discard the ones that have holes, are dingy, or that you no longer like. Number 21 is cookbooks. So this could also be in the book area if you don't separate yours. I have an abundance of cookbooks as well because I love cooking, and I do try to regularly go through these as well. But you're going to kind of want to look at each cookbook. Definitely the rule of thumb when you're getting rid of anything is to put it all in one place and to go through it all together. Because if you just go room by room, chances are you're going to move it from one place to the other because you're going to get rid of it in the next room, and then sometimes the stuff just follows you everywhere you go. So make sure you go through each cookbook and decide, is this something that you actually regularly use? And if not, then it's possibly time to get rid of it. Number 22 is pillows, and according to the Sleep Foundation, you should change your pillows every 1 to 2 years to make sure they are supportive, clean, and free of alternative. So how do you know if your pillow is ready to be gotten rid of? Some signs that a pillow needs to be thrown away is that it has a smell, there's lumps, you're getting acne, you can fold it in half, which clearly my pillows can be folded in half, you're having neck or shoulder pain, it's stained, and it requires constant refluffing. I hope today's video gave you all the inspiration you're needing to jump in and get ready for 2022. I love all the possibilities of a brand new year, and I absolutely love getting ready to be inspired for the next coming year. It gives me all the time to do tidying and cleaning in all the areas of my home that maybe get neglected during the holiday season. So I hope today's video helped you and is getting you inspired as well. Stay tuned to my channel for some more organizational videos that will be coming your way, and wherever you are in your journey is a perfect place to start, and I will see you in my next video.